Welcome back to Soccer Card United. It's episode 217 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That's Enzo. Hi, Enzo.
Hello, Jason.
It seems like we were just on the podcast. It was a Tuesday, Thursday week this week, and yet, as always, there have been daily developments in the hobby. So lots to talk about today.
Yeah, it seems like a day doesn't go by. We're into the summer. That's it. Like, we're getting there. We're starting to see it. Hobby summer is upon us, Jason. That's my big hot take.
All right. We're going to jump straight in. We talked about what did we talk about? We talked about Finest UCC coming back again, and we saw some kind of images the other day, and now we're seeing that it's available for pre-order, not just in the US but also in the UK.
Yeah, for what seems like the very first time, isn't it?
I believe so. So eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed there's something going on there with the box. We'll talk about that in a second. But some more images of the cards, some of which we'd already seen, some of which we hadn't already seen. A couple of dual autos there as well. So let's click on to this.
What is that? What is that?
I've just clicked the link to the pre-order and discovered all of this.
I need to click that. I need to just see that on my own screen for a second. Wow, that's not good.
Are you getting that?
Yeah. Chunks, static. That's a lot of children. Not good.
Right. So for anyone who's just listening to the podcast, I clicked on a link and got like the Matrix.
You got the back end code popped up, Jason.
Yeah.
What I would say.
So that's just, that happens all the time, especially when you get a high demand
set like this.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Jason, let's get to the elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
What is going on with that Finest box?
I know. So the first thing people would have noticed is that there's no mini boxes.
That is literally the Soccer Card United bread and butter is taking Finest, splitting into mini boxes, one autograph per mini box. The price is reduced because it's a mini box. People love that format. It makes it's kind of what distinguishes Finest, in my opinion, from Chrome in many respects.
Is that you have that mini box format.
Yeah. This box looks more of a kind of Merlin style box. Obviously, 2 autographs in it is going to be fun. It makes it good, but like, I don't know. Obviously, it's different. I don't know why they've done it. I don't know why they've done it, Jason.
Well, obviously, it reduces the amount of cardboard they're using.
Reduces costs.
Reduces cost. You don't have to pack too many boxes, make too many boxes. You can. I suppose we know this from shipping out orders. SoccerCardsUnited.com. The as few different kinds of boxes as you can possibly use, the better.
That is true, and I suppose this will be easier to ship out. Like, I kind of do hate whenever someone orders just a master box. I do be like, oh, I need to find a cuboid style box to ship this out. So in that regard, I respect it a little bit, but I don't know. I get it. A part of me, as you said that, Jason, now I feel like this is more of a cost thing and an efficiency thing versus any other.
I don't think it's a stylistic or an aesthetic choice. I think it's just cold hard numbers have made this one.
Oh my God. And it's, you know what? I get it. I get profit margins. I get all that. But I'm going to say this on record. This has broke my heart a little bit.
Oh no.
I'm telling you. I love mini boxes. I actually have one mini box downstairs that I'm trying my best not to open. Especially for card shows, Jason. The mini boxes, come on.
I know.
Like, if Bundesliga Finest comes out looking like this, that's going to be a travesty. What are we going to do international for those promo packs?
Well, we're not going to be taking them back home and bringing them to Germany.
Yeah, we won't be bleeding buying Finest in the first place, Jason. Jesus. Bundesliga Finest, that is, of course. So listen, it's different. I don't know. There was a lot of soul and heart in the mini boxes. I'll say that, and I'm a bit upset to see this. Although I will say it probably makes it look a bit more of a hobby set, I would say. Do you know?
Yes. A few interesting bits. Obviously, as I said, the first time we're getting the Topps Europe availability for pre-orders. The limit per customer on boxes is 10. And down here, just the kind of how it's going to work with the pre-orders. Please allow 3 to 5 business days for UK shipping. Orders taken during pre-order window begin shipping ahead of the release date, April 15th, which should be May 15th, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's meant to be May 15th. I think that's a typo, Jason.
Release date subject to change. Pre-order items. So 10 is the limit. But also, if you go onto the old homepage here, you can pre-order a case.
So,
1,000
limit there.
Huh?
that a mistake?
The 10 case limit.
Is there a 10 case limit?
Well, it says that. I'm not logged in here, so I don't know. But it says there's a 10 case limit as well as being a 10 box limit. You wonder.
I suppose if you say 80 box limit, it looks a bit mad, doesn't it? Yeah, I can't log into Tops. Wow. Pick up 10 cases of that. I don't know if that's correct. Like, that might be, again, it also says the product's available, April 15th. So.
Yeah. And just to say, which is interesting as well, I saw this, people were looking at, I don't know what, maybe it was this product, maybe it was a different product. They were pre-ordering on the US site and there was no discount for a case. I think it was a Sapphire product or something. Yep. And similarly here, there's no discount for a case. A case is just £170. Box price multiplied by 8, which is a standard case for finest. Although, why stick with the same case number if you're not going to use the same box?
Jason, you're that right. I'm trying to see if I can log in just to investigate. Actually, do you know what? I might just look at the US Tops and see what they're saying. But they seem to have it. They seem to understand.
I have to say, it's very, very, very interesting to move to a different box format and keep the same number of boxes per case.
Yeah, it's like, what was that? Coming soon. I can't find the pre-order on the US one.
Right.
It's as if it's not live yet, even though it definitely is. Okay, I don't really know what's going on with the pre-order, but I'd love to know if you can order 10 cases straight off the site, because that would be fascinating.
Yeah, surely somebody will have tried that and can
verify.
Can verify and let us know. Because it looks like
it
looks like you can order 10. You can pre-order 10 cases from Tops UK at the minute, which would be a kind of unprecedented move.
And we can't even verify it at this moment.
No, because we can't sign in. I don't think I've ever been able to sign into Tops without being told my account was
under duress.
My account was locked or something because I got my password wrong too many times.
Do you know what I've done? I've gone over to Tops France.
Yeah.
Of which I have an account from my early days in the L hobby. Let's see if this works. Oh, I'm in.
You're into Tops France. Okay, very good.
It's all very French at the moment. And let me have it's €1,600 for a case on Tops France. Is that cheaper? No. What's that? 200 quid? It seems like I have 10 in the car, Jason. I'll put it that way. I have 10 in the car here. 16 grand.
Yeah. To pre-order 10 cases.
Proceed to payment. Let me just see how far. Because normally that's where you get. No, it looks like you can.
Wow. So that's a big move. You can now go or pre-order 10 cases of a hobby product in from Tops Europe.
Jesus. Now, to be honest, I'm weary because of the 10 box limit.
Right.
That like you could buy 10 cases and then get an email after a while saying that was actually a mistake there. You cannot have 10 cases. And 200 quid. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. So people can let us know if they took advantage of this newfound ability within Europe to pre-order Tops Finest.
There you go. We'll keep an eye on that as things progress.
Yes. Speaking of the European hobby, I don't know if you saw this, Enzo. There was a big hit from Flagship out of the Netherlands.
Oh, I seen it.
Q's Cards hit this Super Fractor.
Very nice.
So I don't know if you heard the audio, did you? Just there?
No, but I think that's to do with our previous audio issues that I was having, Jason.
Right. Okay. I don't know if the people heard the audio either, but that was quite a reaction there from Quinton. But yeah, massive pull there. Ultimate Stage, Tops Chrome autograph, Super Fractor 101 for Lamine Yamal, who is kind of the top rookie this year. And obviously, the idea of being able to get a Tops Chrome Super Fractor out of Flagship and not just a foil fractor is very exciting, and I think it's been justified here.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that I assume that came from the promo pack, right? That was those That looked like
Yeah,
the promo pack.
exactly. Yeah. Coming out of the Ultimate Stage promo packs. Yeah.
Yeah. So what hit? A 101 super auto of Lamine
What a
Yamal.
hit.
Like,
And
got knocked out of the Champions League, but had an amazing performance.
got hooked.
Pitch.
Got
Yeah.
hooked.
He got hooked, but while he was on the pitch, he really was really doing it.
I asked Quinton if that was a long time customer.
Yeah.
And he said that it was someone who's been breaking with him for 2 years, had the Barcelona spot. So a feel good hobby story there, I think.
I love that. I love to hear it.
And to get that big hit, I presume it was a European customer. I didn't verify that, but I presume it was. And to get that big hit in Europe and that to be getting sold out of Europe or maybe putting a personal collection in Europe, big news.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen a lot, does it?
No. Also from Flagship, I wanted to kind of check in and see how these Allen and Ginter bits and bobs were doing.
How they were getting on.
How they're getting on. So we'll have a look here. So just to show you what's available at the moment, Reshmin Chowdhury, who's the TV presenter, Ian Rush got on there, Pierluigi Collina, Kate Abdo, Martin Keown, Max Rushton. So these are kind of like a strange mix of people, I would say, for the Allen and Ginter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them presenters, obviously. They didn't really go too far outside the footballing sphere, I suppose, with it.
No. I like the Clive Tisley autograph. He's for a certain generation of people in the UK and in Ireland, he's a kind of an iconic voice in football commentary. So
I like it. I think they could have tried to get, the rest of the CMB, the CBS or whatever you want to call it. The Katie Abdo, sneak Thierry Henry in there as a punter. Give me Big Meeks. Give me Jamie Carragher. Give me a quad auto. Why don't you do it?
Why don't you do it?
Why don't you do it? That's what I want to know.
Here's a nice sale for an Ian Rush. I mean, in fairness, Ian Rush on card for a Liverpool fan, that's a top card.
That is a top card.
So yeah, I'd be interested to know who's kind of, is anyone kind of doing the rainbow there or what?
People trying to collect all the Allen and Ginters, put them together.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
A bit of that. I'm seeing confirmation that it is 10K pre-order, by the way. People are in meltdown a little bit.
People are in meltdown?
Well, some people are just saying, like, how big is the print run, that sort of stuff.
Right.
I don't think that necessarily points to a really large print run. It's certainly not a small one, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's abnormally bigger than what Finest normally is. I feel like if you have the money, it's not hard to get your hands on 10 cases of Topps Finest in years past.
Right.
It's never been this easy. I'll say that.
Never been this easy. We talked about vaulting and all that stuff and collecting in person, collecting in vaults, all that stuff. And listener Mike sent a nice email. I don't know if you have it in front of you, Enzo, to read it. If not, I can read it.
I can pull it up. I have it. I believe I have it starred. Okay. Would you like me to get to it?
Yes. What did Mike write in and say after our discussion?
Okay, let me just fix this up a little bit here. Okay. Mike came at us, and I love this. He said, "Hello, I'm a collector in Seattle." And I believe that to a T by the time I finish reading this, by the way. A lot of people say I'm a collector, and it's not quite true. I'm a collector from Seattle. I enjoyed your thoughts on the vaulting and platforms. Very recently, I had 100% of my collection, about 1,200 cards, vaulted at PWCC for a very practical reason. We are remodeling our home and moved to a temporary place that has a bit of a moisture problem. Vaulting ensured I wouldn't have to put any of my collection at risk, and wouldn't have to put it out of storage that people sometimes would use for household stuff. A friend of his did that. He got his collection stolen, so he wouldn't have to worry about it, basically. And he also doesn't have to worry about water damage, moisture damage getting to his cards. That's why he vaulted it. Incredibly practical reason that you never really think about, Jason, when you're talking about vaulting, the vaulting services, I suppose.
Yeah, because you're thinking about putting 2 or 3 cards in the vault. You're not thinking about what are you going to do with 1,200 cards when you're moving house and you're moving to a smaller place and you don't want to have the damage and all this stuff. So, I suppose as well, like, for European collectors or maybe for soccer collectors as well, who are just getting started. Like obviously we have, a lot of cards, but like for people around Europe who are only kind of getting into the hobby, you might only have a couple of hundred cards or a few hundred cards or whatever. But in America, where people have been collecting for a much longer time and everything is bigger anyway, you have to think of volumes of cards that you might not be thinking of when you're just thinking of what am I going to do with my Messi rookie? Am I going to keep it at PWCC or am I going to keep it at home?
That's it. And like when you think of vaulting, you think of putting 1 or 2 big cards in a vault and leaving it there because it's safe and whatever. But when you think of vaulting, kind of, I suppose, in the modern day, more recently, you're thinking of putting it in a third-party place where you can easily sell it and not have to worry about anything else. This was obviously a genuine, like, I have a collection, I'm moving house, I need to put it somewhere, and this service is exactly what you can do with this. So I like that. So he said the unexpected benefits of this. The email continues. So much easier to actually know what cards you have without having to sift through a load of boxes. Totally fair. There are cards, Jason, that I don't know if we sold them at the Dublin Card Show or if they're knocking about somewhere here. I'm desperately trying to find an all-5 Warren Zaire Emery rookie Carnival autograph card. I don't know if we sold it. I think we might have, but if I had it all vaulted, I would know for sure where it is. At the moment, it might be in a box that I have yet to look at. Easy to sell cards with a single click. However, PWCC is only good for certain kinds of cards. It's easy to get good value on a Pele rookie there, but then anything women's is pointless, and there's other stuff like that, basically. You can get better value selling on eBay or Facebook groups, etc. So it's not always the best. It's easy to sell, but it's not always going to, it's always the best place to sell.
Yeah, and we see that whenever we do our reviews of PWCC or Golden or whatever, those kind of auction houses and kind of higher end marketplaces, it's the same names popping up again and again. It's five or six players that are dominating 80%, 90% of the soccer sales there. You're not necessarily going there to prospect. You're not necessarily going there to look at the less popular or less well known parts of the game. So yeah,
there's definitely people that buy on PWCC and take it to card shows, and they do very well with that arbitrage because I do believe that exists. Vaulting cards for over $50 in value is free. That's an incredible piece of knowledge to know. Everything else is a reasonable one-time fee, so there is no month-to-month recurring charges. So I think ComC might have a month-to-month recurring charge to a degree. I think that's true. I think it's very minimal, but I do think it exists. This is saying there's a small time fee if it's under $50. Otherwise, it's free, which is actually really good to know. Like that is, functional. I spent a lot of time clicking through my cards and simply admiring them. So essentially, he has all his cards now in a digital portfolio because they've been, put in the vault. Those are the advantages. The disadvantage, because it's not all rosy, Jason.
Oh, it's not
he
all
recently got his cards back, right? So he recently got them back. He genuinely just used this to vault it momentarily while he was making this move. He recently got his cards back since they're ready to move into their old house. And I didn't realize how much I miss being able to actually hold the cards in my hand. Nothing beats that. Going all digital introduces a sense of distance that takes away some of the fun. Mike, thank you so much for that email. That was genuine. It was informative. It threw a spanner in the works because I completely didn't think about vaulting services as an actual practical thing to do versus using it almost for the sole purpose of selling, I suppose.
Yes.
I forgot that, when you're moving high-end collectibles, whether it's high-end or not, whether it's just personal value, your personal collection, you don't want them to get damaged in commute. Sending them somewhere safe for a short period of time and then picking them up makes sense with other assets, so it makes sense with cards too.
Yeah, but then the idea of, like, obviously you can have all your photos and all your catalog by vaulting something. You're necessarily cataloging it so that you know what's in the vault. So you have then this portfolio, as you were saying, but getting them back and going like, oh yeah, like this is the stuff. This is it. It's almost what would be good is a vault that allowed you to visit your cards,
like a daycare.
Yeah, card daycare. There you go.
There's the idea.
At the National, you go, say like you have a trade night later, but you don't want to bring this $50,000 card around with you on the floor all day because there's pickpockets active or whatever.
Oh,
you put it in card daycare. You come and collect it at 5 p.m.
That's it. I don't know if we've officially told people we're going to the National, but we are going to the National.
Oh yeah,
we will not be pickpocketing at the National, not this year.
We will be getting some steals, but we won't be pickpocketing.
Yeah, no, the steals are all going to be above board.
Yeah.
So anyone going to Cleveland, we will see you there. We have everything officially fully booked, I believe, Jason. Is that correct?
We're locked into Cleveland, yeah.
We're locked in. I think the last thing we needed was the national tickets. I think we did flights, hotel, which is actually very reasonable. Flights, hotel, and then we finally got our tickets for the 45th annual? Is it 45th? Am I jumping the
I
gun?
think so, yeah. It is, because it's or is it the 44th? Did not start in 1980.
I get confused between the National Sports Collectors Convention and the Super Bowl.
Right, yeah.
National Sports Collectors Convention International. Let me double check. They're very proud about it. It'll say it front and center on their website. The 44th. My apologies.
Yeah.
The 44th National Sports Collectors Convention at the IX Center. I don't think it's called the IX Center, but I'll assume it is.
The International Exposition Center, yeah.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Exhibition or whatever.
Look, corporate sponsors coming across. This looks like all the European shows. I love it. We're really leveling up.
I will say this just on the national and going to it. The last couple of years, we have gone the full week and then hung around for a couple of days afterwards to see some of the city that we've been in or been near to while the national's been on. This year, we're flying in a day early and we're leaving on Sunday. We're not, because we've been there to the bitter end our last 2 years.
Harrowing take on Cleveland, that is, by the way. This year, we're not sticking around to see nothing. There's nothing to see.
Well, yeah, we gave ourselves, I think, a day and a half in advance.
Yeah, we decided, based on our experience in the last 2 years, we decided it'd be better to go a day early, experience the city or experience whatever we're going to experience prior to the show, and then dip out Sunday evening after the final day of the show. Because normally the Sunday is a bit dead. It's a good time to pick up some steals. We definitely did a lot of buying Sunday last year. But ultimately, by Sunday, most people are just dead on their feet, and it is very much people don't want to be there. Kind of, that's the kind of vibe I have out of it. So it's kind of like people aren't really hosting events on the Monday. They're kind of doing a pre-show if they're going to host any kind of mixers or whatever. So we basically strategically decided we'll go a bit early. We'll see what we can see, and we're not going to stick around. We're not going to do every single. Well, we have a ticket for all the days of national, I believe, but I don't think we're going to be hanging around for every hour, all hours as we normally would.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll see you in Cleveland if you're going to be there. And thank you to Mike for that email.
I can't wait to see what like special guest autographs there are that there's no football players. That's going to be brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Like anyway.
I'm not sure I could take another one of those VIP welcome things where they give you all the autograph signees and you're just like, I don't know how it is people.
Like 3 different trees in a bag.
Yes, exactly. Cutting down whole forests worth of paper.
I'm getting messages right now, Jason. Breaking news. People are saying, I can't believe I can order 10 cases on the site. Surely this has to be a mistake. Who knows? That's the thing we don't know. It might be. Like if they're saying this just could feasibly be. We'll keep people posted on this. We'll see if emails start going out cancelling. Because why would you do a 10 box limit and then a 10 case? Who knows? Whoa.
What's happening?
You're going to hop on a train or subway to the White Plains. Less than a mile from the East Coast. Want to go? There you go. The East Coast National Days. Are you down?
A lot of messages talking about where the East Coast National is, and to say that it's actually it's just literally just outside New York. It's not upstate per se.
It's good to know. We're gonna know, but if we go to New York, Jason, we'll know all about it. And we run around cities, and we get to grips with them very fast. We're very good at that. Yeah. Can I say there's 97 days and 42 minutes left until the national starts?
Wow.
97 days
on the wall there behind you.
There's a countdown on the national website. It's more than enough. The national website seems to have done a bit of a rebrand. It's cool to collect is the new slogan.
It's cool to collect.
Yeah, it's cool to collect in inverted commas. I don't know if that's like on the nose, but that's the new slogan of the national.
Where is this slogan? Where am I looking?
Top left. Look underneath the national.
Top left. It's cool to collect.
It's literally embedded into the logo.
Right.
It's cool to collect. They're not wrong.
Okay. Definitely is a bit there's the.
But like, is this in retaliation to Fanatics Fest? Is what I'm curious about.
I've never seen an overall trend in the industry of
modernizing
and looking like other industries.
Believe in Cleveland, the National Sports Collectors Convention 2024. Now that's a T-shirt I want. I believe in Cleveland, jeez.
Yeah, just not a T-shirt.
Sorry,
we got a T-shirt in Atlantic City. We didn't get a T-shirt in Chicago last year.
That is very true, and we preferred Chicago as the overall experience,
but not the T-shirt design.
No, and that T-shirt I still have it rocking from Atlantic City. It's kind of like my PJs now.
It's gone from main rotation into a housebound rotation.
Yeah, it can't be seen outside in public because it's a bit worn, but it is still very, very soft.
So people have to listen back in August to hear what what happens with the Cleveland t-shirts.
I like the look of it. Obviously, I hope it's not just in white. I struggle with white t-shirts, Jason. They don't stay white as far as I'm concerned. But I like this kind of blue, light blue on navy kind of. Like I've seen that design before. Let me tell you. So,
listen, let's move on a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, got distracted.
We had the Champions League quarterfinal second legs this week. The thrilling conclusion to an incredible round of quarterfinals. And instead of going through all the card stuff and then going through the matches, I thought, why not integrate them a little bit? Wow. So as we go through each match, I have a selection of cards from each of the people who scored in any of the matches. And the criteria here is, what is the last card this player has to sell for around €100 or more?
Okay.
Just to kind of give us an idea, a little whistle-stop tour of where the hobby might be at on various players. Because I feel like the players that are scoring in the quarterfinals of the Champions League are a pretty good sample
of players.
Just by the nature of the competition and stuff like that.
I understand.
So Bayern beat Arsenal 1-0 at the Allianz Arena. Arsenal's kind of the wheels have come off a little bit in the last 7 or 8 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's the crunch part of the season. A couple of huge games that didn't go their way. I think it's always going to be tough for them to beat Bayern, but it did look like the gap is closing. I don't know how much that is Arsenal's improvement or Bayern's kind of decline. I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah,
but, over the course of the 2 legs, I think Arsenal could have got through, but didn't. Unfortunate for them, it was a big opportunity that ultimately didn't go their way. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think like Mikel Arteta has done a lot of work, because Arsenal have this reputation as kind of being like, you know, cup specialists and all that kind of stuff. I think Mikel Arteta has done an awful lot of work to make them. We saw it in the big game they had against Manchester City. To make them solid, to make them defensive, to make them be able to reliably produce results and not have to, like they did last season, wait on a 97-minute winner against Bournemouth and stuff. Kind of have these mad open-ended games. He wanted to like control week after week after week. But when you get to a Champions League quarterfinal and you're 1-0 down at the Allianz Arena and you're running out of ideas, it's hard to switch modes then into like, all right, let's go for it.
To be honest, and obviously like the tie was over 120 minutes, but or over 180 minutes. But and I was glued to the other game, so I didn't get to watch the full Arsenal Bayern. I was obviously present at the first leg of the City Real Madrid game, and then I watched the second leg of that. But that Bukayo Saka corner at the very end was an absolute disgrace. You can't do that. If you want to be considered world class, you cannot hit the first man on a corner with those with all that was at stake. Do you know? You need to put it into a good area. You need to put it in a good area. You cannot fuck that. Regardless of how tired you are or whatever, you cannot fuck a 90th minute corner, 94th minute corner when your team's 1-0 down. You could get the extra time of a European quarterfinal. You can't put in such a horrible, horrible corner. If you want to be considered world class, not in my books, Jason. Can't happen.
True. I wouldn't just single out Saka though. I think the whole team had an attitude problem. They weren't moving quickly enough, because I think it's like you're not playing Everton away. Like it's Bayern. It's the quarterfinal Champions League. You have to go for it. Like you have to. I don't know. It's just that thing that we see occasionally from Pep Guardiola teams as well, and obviously Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola and all that lineage, where it's just like, I understand you have a system. I understand that over the course of 50 or 60 games in a season, this will leave you better off more often than it doesn't. But please don't pass back across the box again. Please just do something.
Yeah, press the button.
You know, it's like this meme with the stick. Do something.
Yeah, do something. The defending for Bayern's goal as well was shocking. I think Declan Rice really just let Kimmich it was shocking. But like, despite all of that, fair play to Arsenal for getting as far as they did, and actually could have got to a semi-final of the Champions League, which it's been a very long time since they've done that. So the improvements are there if you're an Arsenal fan, but definitely back-to-back games in terms of Premier League and what we've seen now in the Champions League. They're in a bit of trouble of their season kind of slipping away.
They're choking a little bit.
A little bit. Different than other years, I would say, but definitely just not a good back-to-back set of results.
Yeah, I think obviously like it's Bayern Munich and if it was any other season than this, you'd say, well, you lost by 1 goal against Bayern Munich,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But everyone kind of was expecting like Arsenal are on the ascendancy, Bayern are in the bin, like, but then Bayern are just they just have that experience to sound like a complete cliche. It's like
Yeah.
they're kind of like you were saying about Real Madrid on Tuesday's show. People, whoever they're welcoming to the Allianz Arena, there's an expectation from the supporters to the board in the box to the people on the pitch that, like, sort it out.
Yeah. Get the result.
And Thomas Tuchel has a good record as a cup and Champions League manager. Obviously, we know that as well.
Listen, definitely disappointing. Commiserations to the Arsenal fans. Shout out to Harry Kane's attempt to win a trophy. I don't think it's going to go his way, but he's one step closer. Jason, tell us about Kimmich. Kimmich was the goal scorer there. Are you doing both legs, or are you just doing the second leg goal scorers?
Just in the second leg.
Yeah, so tell me about Kimmich. Come on, let's talk about it.
So, on the 16th of April, so on Tuesday, one day before the match,
Okay,
this card sold on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a Topps Chrome Bayern Munich, so the kind of premium set.
Yeah.
On-card autograph, numbered to 10.
Oh, the gold is the 10.
10 of 10 on gold, yeah.
Okay.
So, and this sold from Germany, and the asking price was €300, and the sale price was €150.
Okay, nice. An on-card Joshua Kimmich. Gold.
I suppose whoever bought that is feeling pretty good about themselves.
They're delighted. They probably don't even have it in hand yet. Might be en route to them still.
Might get cancelled. Oh no.
No,
it wouldn't. It wouldn't. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think like €150 for an of 10 on card Joshua Kimmich, a Bayern fan, you go, fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. Not the greatest autograph there. Looks like the pen faded a bit.
Yeah, I mean we could do a whole episode on the various pens and penmanship of these
autograph culture and sports cards. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw that story. I saw it on Collect. The Michael Jordan having a private meeting with the guy and signing the
six
Fleers for free.
Yeah.
But to him, like autographs in American sports much more developed. I think the autograph culture, and that like it's important to have an autograph and it's important to have a good one. It's important to repeatedly do good ones.
Yeah, but like Michael Jordan, I don't think signs a lot. I think he's kind of famous for that, so that adds a lot of the. I love players like as counterintuitive as it is. I love players that are able to calm themselves or have a bit of self-respect when it comes to autographs.
Yeah,
don't be a Pele. Don't do that.
Oof.
Like Mbappe did so good for so long, and he's still doing all right. But like you look at Lamine Yamal, and as great as it is to have rookie autographs, it's like how many are we going to get? And that's obviously going to dilute his own stuff. But catch-22, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because on the one hand, it's like go out, we say the Topps and Panini and whoever else, go out and get these autographs. Like, what's going on? And then we're like, what? You kind of want the player to be hard to get, but not too hard to get.
Yeah, but it's like, do you think they could sign like an exclusive deal and then just ration the autos? Like, why are you able to ration case hits and stuff like that? But then it's like, if you have Lamine Yamal, I don't think they do, but if you had them sign up to an exclusive deal, why not ration out in his rookie year? They're only popping out as of 15s, of 5s, of 10s. There's just not a lot of them out there. That way they all have a higher value. Must be hard to do. Hard to justify. Because at the same time, you want people hitting them all the time. But it's like, I don't know. There's a weird, it's a weird thing. It's like the artificial scarcity in terms of one-on-ones. Why don't you artificially make the autographs scarce as well?
But then on the other hand, you have people opening boxes of Chrome and getting Danny Carvajal autographs and being like, oh my God, why is it never,
why
is
it never Lamine Yamal? I understand. Yeah. It's a catch-22. I don't know.
It's a yeah. We want everything to be very, very rare, but not so rare as to be unobtainable.
Yeah. And listen, after that performance yesterday, I don't think Danny Carvajal autograph holders are feeling too bad.
No, because Manchester City drew at home with Real Madrid and it went all the way to penalties, and Real Madrid advanced on penalties.
Wow. They advanced under the power of friendship, Jason.
Yes. Carlo Ancelotti brought his Galacticos and his vibes.
Yeah.
And
his eyebrow.
And water.
It is.
And his eyebrow, yeah. So that was a kind of again one of those things of like, if you're in a certain part of the world, you get drawn into the kind of Premier League supremacy narrative. And then Bayern Munich or Real Madrid go, okay, You know,
Yeah, relax.
relax,
Football heritage.
calm down, calm down.
Everyone stay calm.
Like I saw I don't know. This may very well have been fake, but I'm pretty sure I saw that Manchester City had their Champions League present, like as the game was warming up. You know, like to kind of show Real Madrid, like, look, we have this Champions League, which is just, I mean,
Shocking.
they're not intimidated.
Yeah, they were announced as the European champions as they walked out.
Yeah. Who are you trying to impress? That's Real Madrid you played.
Yeah, they have as many of them as anyone.
Yeah.
Like Real Madrid do look a team missing a few players. Like, you know, the depth of their squad is shocking, and yet just it's the experience and the quality of the good players that kind of rings them through.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, they're taking that team and they're adding Endrick, Mbappe. Looks like they're adding Alfonso Davies as well.
Helps a lot.
Helps a lot. With
But like,
goals
right now
from,
it is really Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Bellingham up front. And that's kind of it. Obviously, Brahim Diaz can come on, etc. But like, they really are struggling, and obviously those players are going to help. I think, yeah, throw Mbappe up there might do us a few favors.
well, there was talk of potentially getting rid of Vinny because they bring Mbappe in after moving heaven and earth to get him. He wants to play on the left, or if Vinny plays, he doesn't want to play in the middle, even though he had a good performance at centre forward for PSG against Barca. But there's going to be some ructions, as there always is when you try and bring all these players in.
Yeah, I think it can work. Like, to be honest, like Mbappe on the right hand side is a dangerous player. Obviously,
he doesn't want to do that.
I know he doesn't want to do it, but which I think is ridiculous. But like, you see Rodrigo popping up on the left whenever Vinny's playing anyway, so it's like they can definitely interchange. The vibes will be fine.
They can work it out. If anyone can work it out, it's Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah,
because he's a man manager as well as a tactician. So.
Yeah, he'll look at Mbappe and go, "You relax, and everything will be fine."
The scorers, Rodrigo and Kevin De Bruyne. Let's have a look at Kevin De Bruyne's latest three-figure sale. This one, look at that, a groovy case hit from the new Prism.
I see.
There's a lot of these that I was not expecting when I went looking for them. $150 for that.
When did it sell?
It sold on Tuesday.
Wow.
So, I mean, $150 for Kevin De Bruyne groovy. If we were at a card show, we would not be expecting to sell it for that.
I'd sell it for 80 at a card show. £80 in London.
So that's what, €100?
Yep. I suppose it's a fair enough price.
And then you have this Rodrigo, which is a World Cup Prism from Probstein Auction, mint PSA 9 Auto 10 from 2022 World Cup Prism, silver, sold for $136 or €127.
Was that today?
That was Wednesday. That was, yeah. Or no, was it?
What's the date?
It's the 18th today. So that was yesterday before the match.
Okay.
So somebody said, do you know what? I reckon this stock's about to go up and cashed in.
That's it. People are trying to buy one of our Rodrigo's off us on eBay, but they just keep texting me instead of just buying it. Like, best offers on. They keep saying, I'm really interested in this card, and it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
just hit that best offer button, please.
Send an offer. It's up cheap. Wouldn't have even made your list if it sold at full price, let me tell you.
It's below the threshold for this list, and people are messaging you. What do you think when these people message you? What are they expecting you to do?
Get involved in this emotional text battle with them. And then sell it for buttons.
Yeah.
My big issue, to be honest, my big issue on eBay with that is that someone will message me, even though the best offer's on, and they go, will you do 50? And then if I say yes, I then have to instruct them, hey, send an offer of 50, you idiot. And then they'll send it, and then they'll message me and go, oh, it's 60 now because you have €10 shipping. Like, oh, I'm in 50 altogether. And then just like, oh, fuck off. So I'm just like, send an offer. I'm not talking. We're not agreeing upon a verbal price, and then you're going to discover shipping exists, and then you wanted that included. It's just,
there could be taxes, there could be whatever.
Yeah. I just stopped that. Like, I've just to a point. It's like, if best offer is on, send an offer. Don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, so I think that I do think that's fair enough. Below a certain level of card.
Yes. If it's below 100, I'm not giving you a concierge.
Mm.
That's it.
It was all falling apart for Barcelona as they lost 4-1 to PSG on the night in the second leg at their Olympic Stadium in Montjuic or whatever it's called. Rafinha, who had scored in the first leg for Barcelona, thought he had
Put the
given
tie
his
to bed.
side a kind of a unassailable lead.
A nice cushion.
But then it didn't work out the way. But guess what? Guess what manufacturer Rafinha's latest €100 plus sale is?
Leaf.
No, Daka.
Oh.
This card sold on Tuesday at 1:20 a.m. according to this eBay. I'm sure someone could write in and say, no, it didn't. But this was from Beijing, China. It was a Daka Ineffable FC Barcelona 2023 Rafinha 1 of 1 Platinum card.
Okay.
Look at that.
Looks nice. Looks well. I'll accept.
I didn't know this, that Daka went with the kind of Panini style
1 of 1. Oh, yeah.
1 of 1 writing.
That's a real negative thing with the people that kind of pop up. It's same thing happened with Kakao. It's like, you have an official license. Why don't you be a bit original?
Instead of just copying what Panini do and writing 1 of 1 like that.
That's what I'm saying. Don't have the official license and then make your stuff look unofficial, knockoffy. You know?
Because you've already done the hard bit and got the license.
Yeah. Don't now make it look, because now that looks like a Panini knockoff, even though it is an officially licensed manufacturer out of China or whatever. Like, you've made it now look like a knockoff. And they did the same with Kakao. Shocking. Not them.
Shocking stuff.
Kakao did. Yeah. Shocking. That's my advice, but sure look.
Sure look. What do you know?
Yeah, what do I know? I don't own the license.
Do 2 podcasts a week for 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know much.
Usman Dembele was absolutely out for blood over the 2 legs. Obviously, like many players, felt aggrieved by how he was treated by the Barcelona hierarchy and fan base, and was delighted to score again against him. It was also, I'd say, Barca or PSG's most visible player over the 2 legs, maybe.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think Mbappe had a good game at striker. I thought he was lost.
The goals flattered him at the end of the day.
Yeah. Like, he was anonymous, to be honest.
Yeah. Especially obviously in the second leg, he ends up getting the 2 goals and kind of sealing the tie. But in the first leg, especially, it was absolutely dreadful.
No, he has a lot of work to do, but luckily for him, Dortmund's next.
Yeah, so he should get some shooting practice in at least.
Hopefully.
Yes, the latest sale I'm looking at here for Usman Dembele is a 2017-18 Panini Select Field Level of 49 Copper PSA 10.
Oh, yeah.
And the seller here insists that it's a rookie.
I believe it is considered a rookie, Jason.
I think it is, because his Dortmund stuff is all FIFA 3 5 and things like that. Yeah. This is a rare card because it's in a hobby set, but it shows a player's unveiling.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we'd see that on a Tops Now or something. We wouldn't get it in a hobby set.
What did that sell for, and when did it sell?
Sorry. It sold on Sunday, April 7th.
Okay.
And it sold for $209.
I would say the owner of that is happy to have got rid of it. He probably prospected Usman to become the next best.
Sorry, hang on. I have a note here. It actually didn't sell for $209. It sold for $170.
Okay.
Best offer accepted.
Stake on. You know, that's good. That's a bit of Champions League movement, I would say, on that. Someone might have had that for some time, and they're happy to cash out.
Yeah. You could look at it either way. I mean, it's probably better to sell the anticipation of him going back to play Barca than to wait and see what happens, because that kind of Mbappe Dembele thing we talked about could easily have been the other way around.
Oh, for sure.
And if you're Mbappe and you're not having a great game deep into the second leg, you get left on because you might score a couple of goals. If you're Dembele and you're not having a good game, you get
hooked,
taken off very quickly. You know, Xavi got sent off in the Barcelona game.
Sorry, I'm battling a cold here.
That's all right. And apparently he was going mad even when he went back to the home dressing room, and he was screaming. This is what I read: screaming the name of Vitinha, the former Wolves Portuguese defender who had tormented Barcelona.
Was he screaming at Vitinha because he scored the goal and no one got out to him, or was he just angry at Vitinha?
I think a combination of that and some kind of what would you say, Was Vitinha the one that Araujo tackled? No,
I don't think so, but he might have been.
I'll just quickly check that because I believe.
I know they really should have stopped that goal. I'm going to double check it.
Yes, it is.
All right, so that is more so why he's screaming his name.
Oh no, hang on, that's not Vitinha. That's Bradley.
Yeah, so Grant, yeah, Vitinha scored from the edge of the box, which really should have never happened. Lewandowski was jogging out to block him and then turned away from it. It was shocking.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Xavi, for whatever reason, was going mad and screaming the name of Vitinha. And Vitinha's latest card is a very new card.
Okay.
It's a Topps Road to the Euros finest.
Oh, yeah.
Color match of 10.
Licensed?
Licensed. Portugal fully licensed.
That's a beaut.
This one was a beaut. And that's, I believe, Enzo, you can confirm for me, that's scanned, not photographed.
Yeah, that's scanned, not photographed, and that line going through it is probably just an issue with the scan or the sleeve. If he's in the sleeve, I don't think he is. I don't think there's a big scratch down. I think that's just the scanner.
It's a scanner issue.
That'd be a scanner
I'm sure
issue.
Wire inquired about that before he.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, must have done.
Unless he had enough coot about him to know it was a scanner, and like someone like me, I wouldn't ask. I would know. I would say just.
You would say, "Come on,
yeah, man." Although I recently had some disastrous shipments. I won't get into it, but got some stuff shipped to me even as high as a 101 and off 10, a few nice bits like that shipped to me without even a penny sleeve, Jason. Europe still has a long way to go. I didn't leave negative feedback. I really should have, but I didn't. Europe has a long way to go. Because oftentimes people message us on eBay, Jason, and they go, "Oh, you're going to ship this perfect?" And I'm thinking, of course, I'm not going to show you, of course. But apparently, in some little nooks around Europe, people are still living in the Stone Ages, thinking that cereal boxes sandwiched together with no sleeve and nothing, cards scraping off each other is a perfect way to ship stuff out. So be careful out there, people. Be careful.
Good to know. I've tracked down the source of Xavi's madcap screaming of Vitinha's name.
Brilliant. Yeah, give it.
This is from The Athletic. Xavi's anger didn't end there. According to sources who were present in the stadium tunnel, he was still agitated on his way to the home dressing room after his red card and was shouting Vitinha's name loudly as he continued to complain. During the first leg, Xavi felt the PSG midfielder could have been shown a second yellow for a foul that stopped the Barca counter. So he was shouting from, at that stage, 150 minutes ago.
No, I get it. He's basically trying to remind everyone. To be honest, it was. I relate to him. Milan are 1-0 down, Jason, to Roma. The goal came from a corner that was offside. Shouldn't have been a corner. So for me, I'd be screaming, "Lukaku!" Going absolutely mad because he was offside. That should have never been a corner. Might have been Dybala. I can't remember. One of them. But going mad because like reality is, we're 1-0 down and we're trying to. But it's like we should. The corner is where the goal came from, and it should have never been a corner. And what he's saying is, if Vitinha had been sent off, you had done your job in the last leg, because it does matter, Jason. It does carry over. You had done your job. You wouldn't be here terrorizing us, scoring the goal. You wouldn't be here causing absolute problems, and we'd be true. And it's a disgrace. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
I suppose the counter argument to that would be, that's a kind of classic, and Xavi is especially prone to this classic kind of histrionics, because you want everybody to know. Like you're trying to set the narrative before the game's even over. You're like, no, the real issue is Vitinha. Don't look at the fact that I've completely mismanaged this. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's a classic kind of.
Barcelona shouldn't be crying about refereeing decisions. Put it that way. Certainly not exactly of Barcelona. How about that?
I think Barcelona in general have developed somewhat of a victim complex over the last little while.
Not great.
Not great. It's always kind of somebody else's fault.
There you go.
Now I have this Mbappe we talked about sale here, but I don't know if I can stand over it, because I'm looking here and it's a 2023-24 Fatera Unique Kylian Mbappe Prominent 23 carat gold framed number to 11 PSG.
Why aren't you standing over it?
Because I can't find it on 130 point to find what the best offer accepted was.
So you're saying it might not have been paid?
It might not have been paid.
Well.
But
those gold frames do go over 100 anyway, especially for the Mbappe. So I think it's
They
fair.
generally do. I think I can believe it. Also, here's an interesting one on this listing. It's a France jersey, so he's not wearing number 10 for France. But it says out of 11 PSG jersey number. Do jersey numbers cross over if from the kit you're wearing into a kit you once wore?
Jesus. Well, in fairness, just the eBay listing says they're not Futera.
Yeah, not Futera. No, God, no.
Listen,
They
I
would
don't mean
never.
to disrespect them that much. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, is that? Yeah, I don't know. To be honest,
It's like one of those things where it's like, do you need to put that in there? Is that changing anyone's mind?
I don't know if it is. Might be.
I would say get some more search terms in there.
Jason, listen, you're no eBay expert, but you weren't born yesterday.
I just think like jersey number from a jersey he's not wearing in the whole thing, and it's all a bit 2020.
Yeah, start to level up. Use sleeves, use top loaders, grow up. That's what we're saying. Make offers if best offers there. Don't send me messages about where you're from.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not if the seller of that card is because I realized I just showed who the seller was and what the card was on the screen. So if the seller of that card is upset by my calling that out, I'm not being too serious and do whatever you want.
Jason, stand over what you're saying. Be a hater.
I've had letters before.
So have I.
And I'm not looking to get any more. So if you're thinking about writing in about that, just know that I'm sorry in advance and we don't have to have that conversation.
Yeah, we don't need to go there.
And then, of course, tied around, Enzo, BVB Atletico, Borussia Dortmund, produced one of their freak results.
Funny for you to leave that till the end.
Well, listen, save the best for last. Borussia Dortmund beat Atletico 4-2 on the night.
We didn't do everyone that scored a goal in that PSG game, did we? They're $100.
Yeah.
Mbappe scored 2. Vitinha scored.
Yeah. Rafinha scored and Dembele scored.
I'm very sorry, Jason. You're sharper than me.
Now, when I got to this Dortmund Atletico game, I thought, well, this is going to be slightly more difficult to find these cards that are kind of selling for big numbers. But I would say, by and large, there are always collectors out there.
Wow.
So, for instance, you look at Julian Brandt. Julian Brandt, I have to say, I couldn't find a card that had sold for around €100 or more on eBay in the last little while.
Okay.
I could find jerseys.
You pulled up jerseys?
Well, it just showed me. eBay was like, I don't have any cards. You're going to have to look at some jerseys.
You're going to have to force the crossover.
Yes, the cards I could find were both sold for around 50. One was a dual relic from 21-22 Obsidian, and the other one was 2018 Bundesliga Museum. Kai Havertz, Julian Brandt for Leverkusen dual patch, a very cool card.
That's beautiful.
Then you had this of 10 Deco Auto, €80. So Julian Brandt, not a massive market, but not a small market by any. He has admirers out there. Let's just say.
Okay, I respect that.
Look at this. This is a brilliant card. Why is Museum so unpopular?
Is that Museum or yes, Museum? Yeah. Oh,
Museum. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just got an email from Tops.com saying the finest pre-order was out, but I haven't been able to find if the US lets you do 10 cases.
The 10Ks, everyone's going to be tuning in on Monday wanting to know the answer to the 10Ks question.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Then we had Ian Matson also scored for Borussia Dortmund, the Chelsea loanee, and he is a rookie in Prism 23-24.
Okay.
And if you look at this, number of different cards have been selling over €100.
That's right.
Your numbered Prisms, including an of 10 for €188 here. This is a particularly nice color match for the Chelsea fans.
That's
blue shimmer numbered to 8.
That's a beaut.
So who else we have? Nicholas Fulkrug. Now I know you didn't think Nicholas Fulkrug had a lot of expensive cards,
but I'm wrong.
But check this out: Panini Donruss Elite.
Jesus.
Panini Donruss Elite FIFA Nicholas Fulkrug 1/1 Black Disco in a Germany kit. I had never seen or heard of this card.
Till he went venturing.
Till I went venturing, and I'm going to tell you that this went for $140 according to eBay.
Well, full Krieg is no joke.
1 of 1. You can see the 1 of 1 patch. I suppose Enzo, how do you price a 1 of 1? It's always going to be worth something to somebody.
You're dead right. And it's definitely worth over 100 crown most times.
I just didn't realize that Donruss Elite I was not familiar with their game.
I'm hoping they do a Donruss Elite again this year for Serie A. Could be fun. We will wait and see.
Interesting one as well for Marcel Sabitzer, who scored an absolute cracker. I don't know if you saw his goal.
Did I? Oh, he did. I've seen your absolute decline, Jason. That was shocking.
Oh, yeah. Shocking. Yeah. We can talk about that.
You could have won the whole. No, we won't get into it, but commiserations.
I will say this just on one thing on the Atletico game. The commentators, I felt, even in the match preview.
Sorry, Jason.
It's getting quite out. The commentators in the match preview and everything like that didn't mention the fact that Samuel Lino, the left wing back, who had been the most important player on the pitch in the first leg and had been the only outball really for Atletico and had I think 6 or 8 shots on the night on target, was suspended for the second leg. And if you look at the first leg, he's obviously the outball. The average age of the Atletico team the other night was 30 because of the terrible squad planning at the top of the club. And it was just a classic case of an old, decrepit squad who may have lots of experience and lots of, Champions League games in them. But if you can't run, then you're going to look foolish against Ian Maatsen. You
sound like Xavi talking about something that happened 150 minutes ago.
No, I'm just saying I saw a lot of analysis of the game and I thought it was very wrong.
Okay, I understand. Absolutely.
And by the way, that yellow card for Lino in the first was a disgrace. But anyway, Marcel Sabitzer's latest big sale is a Match Attax card.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Match Attax autograph from the Euro 2024 Match Attax. Have a look at that.
That's a beaut. Austria.
That's sold. I don't know what the best offer accepted was, but it was up for £150 and it sold.
Okay.
So I mean, just looking through some of these, you have DACA cards, you have Futera cards, you have Match Attax, you have 2017, 18, 26, 20, whatever it was, Select, all sorts of stuff. You have Domrus Elite. Like, so I feel like when we talk about on Hobby HQ, it's a very narrow band of products. And yet you look at the sales and it's like people are buying all sorts of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Just to mention, Angel Correa's latest sale was this beauty.
Was that you buying it?
It wasn't me buying it, but it did kind of send me down a little rabbit hole that I managed to drag myself out of after a while. Yeah, I mean, that's a breakaway of 10. Prism, auto, gold. Can't beat that, I don't think. But yeah, it's just interesting to see the length and breadth of the collecting going on, because I feel like we're always talking about the latest product. What's this, what's that, kind of keeping up with the Joneses. Meanwhile, there's people out there collecting Domrus Elite 101s for Germany, happy as Larry.
Yeah, having a great time.
Not worried about it.
Not concerning themselves with the kind of rat race of what's coming out next.
Not worried about whether or not you can actually buy 10 cases of Topps Finest from the Topps website.
Oh, dear.
Can't wait to get some confirmation on that, by the way.
Yeah, that's this one we should have done we could have had like an on-air call. Our sources have told us this. We have a very reliable link here that has informed us everyone's getting cancelled.
Oof.
But like it's not, Jason, here's one for you. The question is not can you buy 10 cases? The question is should you?
I mean, I don't know.
That was for the listener, Jason. That wasn't for you.
I'll ask the listener to consider this: the removal of the master box format.
Yeah, shocking. That makes that harder to sell.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if that was mini boxes, £100 each. Again, it's still a bit high, but like more manageable. Hobby box. How many soccer hobby boxes have plateaued and remained at the 200 mark versus dipping under the 200 mark in the last couple of years? I would like to see a statistic on that. I feel like there's not a lot that are at the 200 mark in my humble viewings. But it's new shit, and there is a Messi Ronaldo dual autograph that we've almost skipped over because we haven't mentioned it last week. So there's definitely some goodies in there. There's no checklist, but I think in this day and age, that's not necessarily a bad thing because I do think Tops/Fanatics have been doing a great job with checklists. The Idols insert, that kind of weird thing that we've seen in MLS Finest, not for me, but it is a super rare hit.
Yeah.
We have Ronaldo and a Real Madrid kit in the Idols, whatever, but yeah, not for me, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. I'd say I'm sure Monday we'll come back into the people with some information, Jason.
All right, very good. In the meantime, have a very, very good weekend, everyone. And we'll see you then on Monday. Good luck to AC Milan tonight, yeah.
Thanks, Jason.
Lukaku!
Ah!